All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Oscar Basio, and I am one of the academic coaching coordinators at the Learning Center. I'm going to go ahead and get us started and just share my screen and share what academic coaching does. So, the academic coaching program at the Learning Center. So to just kind of get us started, our program purpose. So the mission of the academic coaching program is to seeks to equip students with the skills necessary to achieve academic growth through developmental of learning strategies and study techniques. So we help students develop the soft skills necessary to persist in their education, and often these skills are transferable to their career post their undergraduate journey or their graduate journey. And so some topics that we're going to cover in this presentation, we're going to go over about our program, our usage trends, our integration models, our partner feedback, and how to get started, how to refer our students, how to collaborate with us if you want to bring us into your classroom or any other area. So our background, so our program launched in spring of 2020, and our current staffing includes 2 full-time coordinators. So we're professional staff member, myself and my coworker, Jennifer Luarca. And we also have 6 peer academic coaches who are students. They're upper division students or graduate level students. And they are very knowledgeable on various different skills that our students are requiring to be successful in their undergraduate journey. We're also on track for the CRLA certification for the 2022-2023 academic year, and the CRLA stands for the College Reading and Learning Association, which is a top tier organization that seeks to further, our support to our students in all levels of their undergraduate journey. Also, our mentors receive pre-semester and in-semester training, including observations and regular feedback. So our peer mentors or our peer academic coaches continuously receive that training and feedback so they can continue to develop their skills and provide those necessary services to our students. So some ways that we serve our students, we offer free individual appointments, and they can schedule via Beach Connect. Students can self-schedule via Beach Connect. We are available Monday through Thursday from 9 to 5 and some evening hours depending on the need for our students, as well as Friday from 9 to 12 p.m. We are available either online or in person, just depending on the availability of the student and kind of their preference. We also offer free workshops and embedded coaching and we do free workshops by the request of faculty member or a staff member, and it involves collaboration and pre-planning if you want us to embed one of our coaches in one of your courses. And so from now, I'm going to send it over to Jennifer Luarca, who will lead us for the rest of the PowerPoint.
All right, here I am. So some popular coaching topics that our coaches can cover are time management, exam prep, goal setting, reading strategies, note-taking, motivation, metacognition, active learning strategies. And we also have a tech coach who can work with students on utilizing different learning platforms, maximizing the use of Outlook, and various tech programs they may encounter as they're learning, especially online. We're also always open to new topics. So as Oscar mentioned, a lot of what we do is collaborative with faculty and advisors across campus. So if there's a topic not listed that you're interested in having us support your students in developing, we are ready and willing always. So we have 3 different types of integration models, but as Dr. Jolly mentioned at the start, we are always open to new ideas. We're a very new program, so just kind of trying everything on to see what works well for our students. The primary way that we work with students and faculty is through referral. We also do this with advisors across the campus. So if you are meeting with a student and you feel like they could use support in one-on-one appointments, then you can refer the student to us. You can feel free to send the student over, send us an email so we can loop back and connect with that student if we don't see them. We can provide promotional flyers, videos, shorts, anything that would help you in communicating our program to students that you work with. We always do prefer to have email from the advisor or the faculty member, as long as it's okay with the student, so that, again, we can loop back if we don't see the student come through our doors or pop into our calendars. We can wrap around and connect with that student to make sure that they know they can come see us. The second way we work with our campus community is through workshops. We can provide workshops by request. They can be tailored to your class or your student group needs. Oftentimes, we develop these workshops and plan this out with faculty before the semester starts, so we can be included in the syllabus as part of the course plan. And often also we work with the faculty member to layer our skill development over their course curriculum. Doing so allows students to practice and engage with the skill at a deeper level, ensuring uptake of that skill in their time in the course. Typically, we ask for workshop requests to come in 2 to 3 weeks prior to us being in the classroom. That allows us to clear our calendar and make sure that we're available. But it's always nice to have a heads up at the beginning of the semester so we can have that in our calendars and be ready and able to get there. We can do workshops in person and also virtually. The last way that we can integrate into the classroom is through embedded peer coaching. We actually just started this in the summer and are doing this with a course currently this semester. This model requires a lot of pre-planning. We hire a peer coach, train them, and they actually can attend the course with you and work with you to help students develop the study skills that you deem important for your course. Our peer coaches can teach content in the course or provide that information, and then they can also meet one-on-one with your students to further develop their skill development. As we know, students are at all different levels, and that includes different levels of study skills. So meeting them where they are is really important in ensuring that they can uptake the skill and continue to use it in their other courses. This integration model, of course, takes the most planning because it does involve some hiring and some training pre-semester. So if this is something you're interested in, the sooner you can let us know, the better, so that we can make sure to get all of those kind of ducks in a row and have our student ready to be a part of your class in the next semester. So the next few slides are just some feedback from faculty that we've worked with. This one specifically, I won't read. You can take the time to read it on your screen. But to give you a summary, this is from Stephanie Malaspina in the Doctorate of Physical Therapy course. For this course, we do an assessment of the students entering the Doctorate of Physical Therapy program. And then we come in and do a workshop describing what the assessment results outline in terms of their study skills, where they are, and talk about ways to develop those study skills. After that workshop and after their first assessment in this course, they then are referred to us based on their score, and we help work one-on-one with students to build their skills up. This is the third year, I believe, we've been doing this partnership with physical therapy, and we've been able to get students back on track, doing well very soon in the program. It's more of a proactive approach to developing student study skills before they encounter major issues with their degree program. And the next feedback is student perception of learning from a partnership we did with Early Start Math this past summer. And specifically, I wanted to point out here that the students really rated the embedded coach. So in this situation, we embedded a coach in the course. They presented lessons on help-seeking, motivation, and first-week experiences, how to set yourself up for success. And the students overwhelmingly rated the content high. They all stated that they strongly agreed, about 80% of the students strongly agreed that the lessons they learned will help them persist through their math courses, increase the likelihood of them asking for help when they need it, and help them manage their first week at CSULB. They were taking this course in the summer, so it was in preparation for fall. So not only is our partner feedback really great, but also students tend to appreciate the skill development and see that it helps them as they persist through their semesters. And finally, how can you get started? It's always great to reach out via email. As we all know, we're half on, half in campus. We're all over the place. So an email is a great way to get in touch. Email Oscar or me that you're interested in setting up a meeting, and we can talk about what model might fit best for your course. Or if you have a new idea, we'd love to hear it and work with you. Our email's on the screen. Also, you can visit our webpage at the Learning Center under Academic Coaching. You can see there a list of topics that we cover, some online resources that we have available to all students, and also a tab that talks about our peer coaches, so you can get to know them. And that's about it for us.
Another question, how do you help students with metacognition?
I can take that question if that's okay for everyone. We recently, actually this past week, we did a workshop with NSCI 390, which is geared towards transfer students into the College of CNSM. And we did a workshop on metacognition. And there we really take Bloom's taxonomy. So kind of the lower to higher level thinking skills. And we layer that over what their assessments are looking like. So we use a diagram that includes verbs at each level of learning or understanding. And typically what we're pointing out there, and we do this often with our College of Business students too, is they start to notice a difference when they jump from lower to upper division coursework in their grade. It reflects in their grade. And often what we see them doing is using study skills at the bottom of the taxonomy. So they're really focusing on knowledge and comprehension when they're studying, but the assessment focuses on application. So they aren't making that leap, and that leap isn't being made explicit to them. So we come in and we make that explicit. We put the diagram up. We talk about verbs that target each level of learning. And really, sometimes, if possible, we take a look at the exam that they just took and identify those verbs and start to illuminate exactly what the expectation is and how they can match their study strategy to the expectation of the assessment, to really start to dig deeper and understand content at a different level. We often take that a step farther and talk about what our notes should look like and how we should be reading text if we're focusing on that applied learning practice, and even how they should ask questions. And we work as a group to develop questions they can ask during lecture or in office hours to really dig at or understand the applied learning aspects, because they're really missing that leap to applied learning.
Are there challenges to learning that you see more often than others? And I guess this could be open to both academic coaching and supplemental instruction folks.
I can take this to start off. So actually our data, because when we do have student appointments that goes into a system, we're able to pull the data. And typically appointment topics are for time management or general study skills. When we see students in general study skills, they are often wondering how to take notes, how to utilize their text, and then again, how often they should be studying. Students will often ask, what's the trick? What's the method? But we try to loop back and ground them in their own personal learning experience. So what skills do they have so far? What are their preferences, and how we can maximize that moving forward? But typically we're looking at starting at time management and working up from there.
And I'll kind of build off on that on the SI end. I want to echo a lot of what Jen said. At least on SI's end, we see a lot of first and second year students that utilize the program because we're mostly 100, 200, and a few 300 level courses. So a big challenge we see from students is the ability to really process and organize large quantities of dense information. So a lot of SI sessions is about how do we categorize, how can we visualize, how can we practice content, like reviewing this content in different ways to just help best expose the student to a variety of different strategies for just understanding what they're going through in class. And then I kind of also want to focus on kind of the non-academic part with challenges, especially in the past 3 semesters from what we observed with the uncertainty of the COVID-19 pandemic and things like that. Big challenges our students have been feeling really disconnected from campus up until this semester. A lot more mental health challenges with depression and anxiety and all of those sorts of things. So some of the feedback we've gotten, especially in the past 3 semesters, has been focused on SI being a way for students to feel connected to campus, actually being able to make friends, because the nature of SI is they have to talk and collaborate with classmates. So big challenge, one of the biggest challenges we've seen in general, but especially the past few, were these kind of mental health, isolation types of feelings, which definitely gets in the way of learning.
In terms of academic coaching, how many times can a student make an appointment for academic coaching if that's the route that they're going, right? This is not when they have an embedded tutor, but if they're just going to make an appointment with an academic coach.
I can answer that question. So our students can schedule as many appointments that they would like. They can schedule once every week, once every other week, whatever that preference is. Sometimes our students that need a little bit more extra help usually schedule once a week. So that way gives them enough time to practice what they're learning during our first initial appointment until the next week. And then the following week, we check in to see how they're doing, anything that we can continue to develop on that skill, and then tackle on a new different skill if that's what they decide to. So it's all up to the preference for the student. We do have an unlimited option or availability for them to schedule with us. And we do have a total of 8 folks that can help them out. So there's always availability.
Okay, then how about a follow-up? Can you report back if students have seen a coach, right? If the faculty member makes it an assignment for their class?
I'm going to ask Jen for help for that one.
Hi. So yeah, so first the student will schedule an appointment and we can report back through our appointment system that the student saw us. Typically, we don't share progress unless that's okay with the student. So we need their permission just because that's personal. But definitely if it's assigned in the course and it's needed to just check a box that they came to an appointment, we can report that on a weekly basis if that's requested by the faculty member.
Can you present on topics not listed here today as far as the academic coaches are concerned? And can you create video lessons and materials for specific classes?
Yeah, so definitely we can present on any topic that we didn't list. If there's a certain topic that you would like us to cover, please reach out to us and then we can collaborate and create that to presentation. And in terms of creating any sort of video lessons or materials for the class, again, if you reach out to us, we have a wealth of knowledge base on our end. So if there's a certain topic that you would like us to provide you, we potentially already have it. And if we don't, we can always create something in collaboration with you, in collaboration with our peer coaches, because they do have a lot of experience as well too. So we do pull from a lot of different resources to create those if you would like to.
Maybe a follow-up to that one too. If a faculty member is interested in engaging academic coaching, when should that faculty member start to plan far in advance? Like, let's say they're planning for the fall semester. When should they start to plan to include the coach in their class, or include the coach as part of the class?
Yeah, definitely. So I would suggest that you reach out to us as soon as you are having that kind of idea, so that way we can start preparing, because we might need to hire some folks on our end as well too. 4 weeks, I would say, would be a sweet spot, but if you can get us to us a little earlier, that would be great. So that way, like I said, we can get the hiring stuff started if we need to do that, and just start working collaboratively so we can address anything that you want us to cover in your class, and make sure that it all flows smoothly and correctly throughout the semester.
If I can just add something to that, in regard to providing video content and activity or worksheet, we will record that and we host it on a Beachboard page, so it can very easily plug into your own Beachboard pages as you start to plan out your semester. So logistically, that's how we work.
Is there an aggregated data feedback loop that would help the faculty member remove some of the barriers or challenges? So not reporting on individual cases, but letting the faculty member know trends.
Yeah, we've been able each year to tailor the workshop a little bit more to some of the needs we see in the students just starting out in the doctoral physical therapy program. So with that feedback, we're able to focus a little bit more on certain skill sets that we see as crucial to their success in the program. Also, when we do repeated workshops, so for example, we go into NSCI 390 3 times throughout the semester. And each time we go in, the faculty member is actually a part of the workshop as well. So we kind of loop back and talk to the students about how they manage the skill, what they're struggling with, and that allows the faculty member real-time feedback on how the students are doing, if they're able to integrate that skill into their coursework, which then allows the faculty member to adjust moving forward, or maybe assign more assignments or more practice with that skill, or we reshape our second workshop to really focus more heavily on what students are struggling with. So as Chris said, we're a new program. We're still developing our data collection and that feedback loop, but we are able to get that real-time feedback, and that close collaboration allows for us to kind of get a sense of where students are at and what they need.
A question for academic coaching. We've talked a lot about sort of the workshops and the appointment model, but we haven't talked a lot about the embedded coaching model. So what could an embedded coaching model or an embedded coach do for a course? And can you explain what an embedded coach actually even is? That might help too.
I will take that one. So part of it is that we are just starting out with this model. So we actually embedded coaches into Early Start Math in the summertime, this past summer, and we have currently one course with an embedded coach. So we're still feeling this out, figuring this out, and in that sense, we're still very open to how to integrate the students. But so far, what has happened is we've hired a student, they attend class with the students in the course. They are responsible for leading lessons on certain study skills that are identified pre-semester with the faculty member. For example, a time management lesson, maybe a lesson on metacognition or motivation or help-seeking strategies. They provide a general lesson, and then the student is in the class to meet with students in small groups or one-on-one to clarify, to personalize the skill for their own life and what they're experiencing, to do follow-up, and to kind of have that support system within the classroom itself. The student also serves as kind of a peer mentor in a way. They're typically third year, fourth year students who've had experiences and can lend themselves to what it's like to be a new student or to be a student who might face some challenges and share their own personal experience throughout the course. So far that's what they've done. But as I said, we're open to, how this program might grow and different ways to use the peer coach in the classroom setting.
And I'll also hop in a little bit and just say, I think the other benefit of some of these things like this in embedding resources is just getting to use the students comfortable with using these academic support resources outside the class. So, it kind of reduces the distance between them and these resources so that they're comfortable meeting with an academic coach and they're more likely to reach out. I think once students make personal connections, then they tend to follow through better and be more open to using some of these forms of support rather than just, getting an email maybe saying, hey, you should see an academic coach or something like that. So I think it also helps in that kind of sense of belonging and connection with some of the resources on campus.
Yeah, Chris, I was just going to add too, I was thinking about this because we also know during COVID, it's been challenging in many, many different services across campus for students to connect. to connect with the people who provide those services, right? And embedding someone in the class has really eliminated that distance, right? You don't have to seek out the tutor, you don't have to seek out the coach. The person is right there and becomes kind of a part of the fabric of the course itself. And so that access is just so much easier. And that's, I think, a lesson we've learned from COVID. I mean, there are models before COVID for embedded coaching and tutoring, but I think we've really seen it on our campus become a much more effective model since we've started to use it during COVID. So I think just eliminating that distance and making the coach just part of the class really eliminates some of the maybe intimidation or the distance for the student. So we found that certainly in the early start sections last summer to be really effective.